I believe participation trophies fucked a lot of us up mentally, specifically my generation. And I'm gonna talk about why. Now listen, I'm 34 years old. I'm 33. I'm about to be 34 years old. All right. My generation, growing up in the early 90s, 2000s, in 2000s, something started to shift. And we started to give out awards for things that are just mundane, things that like don't require any effort. Like, I remember getting perfect attendance awards at school, right? And not to say that it's not, rare for someone to have perfect attendance. It is, but I would not say that requires a lot of effort. And I remember one year I got a perfect attendance award, and I was just like, oh, all right, like, yeah, I was here every day. Like, who cares? And I remember other kids thinking that was like, I was like, wow, you actually showed up every day. I was like, yeah, like, we're in school. I remember once we were competing at something, and granted, it was like cross country, right? I remember in high school, and like cross country is a little different. A lot of people compete, so you get medals like from first through like 8th place or something like that. I don't remember, but it's like 100 kids competing, right? All running. But even in that, in high school, I thought to myself, I didn't win. Why am I getting a medal? Like, something about that didn't seem right to me. Like, in my mind, medals were always first, second, third place. That in my mind, right? And then they always have a different color because we don't want you to be confused. Like, you didn't win. So don't be acting like your medal and the first place person's medal are the same, right? Let's just be clear. Now, something about that, I believe, has changed the millennial psyche. Like, I think it's no coincidence that a lot of people my age look at the world and expect a lot from the world while giving very little. I think that is a direct result of the participation trophy era. I think something went wrong where a lot of the parents who grew up before us, who became parents, right? They were newly parents, said, I don't want to disregard the feelings of my child. So I'm going to go the complete opposite way, and I'm just going to flood them with emotional validation. And in that way, and part of what that will mean is, even when they do shit, I'm just going to tell them they did good. And then schools just adopted that shit. They was like, yeah, okay, great. It's more about the fact that you came at all. Like, I mean, is it good that you showed up? Yeah, that's the first step. But the other part is you got to do the work so that you can succeed. Because listen, for those of you thinking it's not a big deal to get participation trophies, let me just help you understand why it's so important. You might not realize it, but all of life is competition. All of it. You might not like it, but it is. All of life. You apply to a job. It doesn't matter if you're qualified or not. It's about if you're more qualified and if you can show better than the other person interviewing for that same job. Everything you do, if you're competing for a mate, if somebody else shows better than you, you're not getting picked. Like, and we have lost the plot, I think, in life because we don't want to admit that there are some realities to life that are just difficult. And that reality means not everybody's going to get what they want, because some people are going to be better at things than others. Like, for example, I will never be an NBA player. I'm probably too short, and even if I had the skills, I'm too short to be a basketball player. But on top of that, I don't have the skills, right? So there's just certain realities about life that I just have to accept, right? I'm never going to be 7 feet tall. Like, I'm not going to be 6 feet tall. I'm 5'10". That's what I am. That's what it is. Now, if I walk around as if I can do everything that a 6-foot person can do or a 7-foot person can do, like, if I act like I can dunk on a basketball rim without jumping, I'm going to be sorely mistaken. So all I'm saying is, the quicker you start to accept the realities of life, the faster you start to come up with plans to actually accomplish the things you want to accomplish. But if you live in La La Land because you've been given this false sense of self this idea that you are worth everything you want and you should just be given it because you are you. Life's going to be hard. And that's what I see when I look around. I see a lot of people who got a lot of participation trophies. A lot of people who were given the pat on the back while doing nothing, by just wandering around aimlessly. And now they're doing that in real life. And they're like, why the hell is the world not giving me my trophy? Because the real world is competition. And the reality is that a lot of our parents did us a disservice by lying to us because they felt bad. And if you're in that position, you're the person who got lied to, this could be a wake-up call, right? Because it's never going to go away. No matter how much we try to escape the realities of our world, no matter how much we try to balance for inequalities and equities, all that shit that y'all talk about, y'all love, I'm telling you, doesn't matter. It's always going to be a winner and a loser. There's always going to be winners and losers, no matter what. So the quicker you get comfortable with that reality, the faster you can start to focus on what does it take to win. And again, winning can mean a lot of things, right? You can define winning for your life. Winning does have a very specific definition when it comes to competition, but you get to decide what you compete at. That's the beautiful part of your life when you're an adult. You do not have to compete in a race, in a basketball game, in a football. You don't have to do that stuff. You don't have to even compete necessarily in corporate America, but there are certain realities. You have to have food, you have to have water, like you have to take care of your family if you have one, if you have kids, that kind of stuff. So you get to decide what you compete at and what you're going to be good at. And the sooner you realize what those things are, the sooner you can figure out what it actually takes to win at them. But it's going to be real, real hard to do any of that if you believe in your heart that you are owed something while doing nothing. So all I really want to say is to the parents, right? To the parents who did this to my generation, not to me, but because I'm gonna be real with you. My mom kicked my ass at everything. Anything she could beat me at, she would beat me at. Like, I remember playing Uno with my mom, and I would be like legitimately crying. Like, I would get my ass kicked so bad at Uno that I would just have tears. Like, and she'd be like, she was like, well, I might even ask, like, why wouldn't you let me win? And she might even said something like, the world's not going to let you win. And like, and I very vividly remember saying, you better learn how to play or you're always going to lose. And that kind of shit sticks with me. Like, it stuck with me, not because I like I'm so traumatized from not winning Uno. Like, it's Uno, right? I learned how to play the game. But I'm saying in life, that's applicable to so many things. If you don't learn how to play the game, you will always lose. So again, parents, if you were somebody who did this to your kid, just understand you have a hand in what is going on with your child if they're sitting up on their ass at 30. And to the new parents, understand that as much as you want to validate your child's feelings, and that's an important part of being a parent, you have to allow them to face the reality that losing is a part of life. You can't just win. You cannot let them assume that you can win no matter what. Because then they start to redefine words, they start to redefine the world, and then they get out here in the real world and that world kicks their ass, and then they on TikTok talking about what the fuck, why is the world so mean? What the hell? So the reason we got so many of those people is because nobody ever beat their ass at Uno. They were the ones that they let their kid collect all the fucking Monopoly money, even though they landed on fucking go to jail 7 times. Their mom was like, it's okay, Timmy, you can have 6 more rolls. Like, it's not a big deal. No, it's a big deal. It's a big fucking deal because now Timmy thinks he can get out of jail for free in real life. That's what happened to us. So, fuck participation trophies. That shit needs to end immediately. If anyone's even still doing it, I don't know. I haven't been in, modern day schools. I don't know what the hell the curriculum is these days because I'll probably homeschooling my child. But if you are someone who's thinking about like, how do I approach teaching my child about the world? Just understand there's nothing wrong with validating emotions. That's important. But it has to be mixed with the realities of life. Because again, as parents, our jobs is to prepare them for the real world without us.